Welcome to the Rotary Club of York. We are people of action committed to service above self and honoring the four-way test. If you haven't already done so, please take a moment to silence your cell phones. President-elect nominee Aaron Jacobs will lead us in our opening song, America the Beautiful, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Invocation will be by Steve Feldman, and then Aaron Jacobs will come back and introduce our visitors.
Thank you, President Jackie. Rotarians, please join me. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesty, above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join me in a word of prayer. God of all people, thank you for leading us here today in this Rotary Club, which is much more than a club. It is a hub of community activity, a helping hand, a source of inquiry, and a seeker of answers to questions that the York area asks of itself. We are grateful to be a part of it. Help us to remember the simple but profound guideposts of Rotary, things like the four-way test that ask us to focus on truth, mutual well-being, and mutual benefit. The notion that service to others is more beneficial to all than focusing on self, and how a hand out in welcome or an expression of gratitude to those who have in ways large and small served us speaks volumes. We ask your blessing on our speaker today, whose work deeply touches an important segment of our community. Drive us to make this Rotary Club a source of positive change in ways that we have not yet even imagined. In your name we pray, amen.
So I am pleased to have the honor of introducing our guests for today's meeting. When I call your name, please stand and remain standing until President Jackie has welcomed you. Guest of Joan Mummert, Rosa Catterall, Joyce Santiago, and Jose Santiago. Guest of our speaker, Mindy Christian. Guest of Educational Vocational Guidance Committee, Major Adam Clark, Sergeant First Class Ronald Garland, Cadet Command Sergeant Major Kayla Gonzalez, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Yamiris Reyes, Janelle Herzl, guest of Bobby Ann DeLeo, Reverend Dr. Mark Kears, guest of President Jackie, Seth Laidlaw, guest of Todd Fogdell, Catalina Ruiz, guest of our speaker, Dawn Squire, guest of Norman Humber, and Kim Swindle, guest of Bobby Ann DeLeo.
It is so great to have all of you with us today. I know you're here for a really outstanding program. We love seeing your faces. We hope that you'll visit us again often. Rotarians, please help me welcome our guests. You may be seated. Thank you. The Educational Vocational Guidance Committee meets today at 1:30 in the Terrace Room. The Youth Exchange Committee will meet on May 19th at 12 p.m. via Zoom. The Fellowship Committee is inviting you to 3 upcoming events, and there are flyers on your tables for your review. There will be a happy hour at Pub 28 at Box Hill on June 2nd from 5 to 7. A networking opportunity at York Water Company's Brillhart Pumping Station on June 10th from noon to 1, and that includes lunch and a tour. And then we're partnering with our friends from the Lancaster Rotary Club for a night out at Peoples Bank Park as the Revs take on the Barnstormers on June 22nd. This is a great way for us to get to know our sister club in Lancaster across the river. We plan to join them in 2023, where they'll host us at Clipper Magazine Stadium. We hope that we're going to be able to make this an annual friendly rivalry between our two clubs. So I hope that many of you will be able to come out and join us. And York Baseball President Rotarian Eric Menzer is offering us behind the scenes tour before the game on the 22nd. We have great seats reserved for us in the Planet Fitness Diamond Deck, which is behind home plate, and you know it has seating there. If you're interested in any or all of these events, kindly RSVP to past President Rob Bowen. Rotarian Fran Polk was traveling to Utah recently, and she came upon this marker commemorating the 100th anniversary of the Legacy Bridge project for the Utah Valley Rotary Club. And Fran's a proud Rotarian, so she stopped to take a photo, and I'm happy to share it with you today. Nice travels, Fran. And now for our member moment. Amy Ann Stein grew up in Lebanon. Although her dad was from York County, he moved to Lebanon to join his wife's family funeral business, which remains the largest in Lebanon. Amy and her sister would often spend time in her grandparents' apartment above the funeral parlor, but they had to be very quiet when funerals were taking place so that the bereaved wouldn't mistake noise above their heads for their dearly departed moving about. She recalls the 70s when steel plants were shutting down and many of her friends' families were out of work, and was grateful that her family's business stayed strong, even though it meant her dad was always on call. She worked in the business for a while as a secretary while earning her associate's degree in secretarial science at Hack. While there, she took some accounting courses and realized, hey, she could do this. So she enrolled at York College and earned an accounting degree. She's been a CPA for 36 years, many of those years with her current employer, RKL. Amy enjoys her clients, which are mostly businesses, families, and small not-for-profits. She's active in the community, serving as treasurer for Pappas House and for Eastern York Dollars for Scholars. She serves on the council for the York College Community Opportunity Scholarship Program and the Women's Business Center organization. She became a member of Rotary in 2000 and is the CEF board secretary. She's part of the Finance and Investment Committee as well as the IDEA Committee. Amy and her husband Greg have been married for 24 years and have a daughter, Kara, who is a rising junior at Temple. They love to travel and just returned from New Orleans, where they enjoyed local jazz music and Cajun cooking. They've traveled all over Europe, and a highlight for them is spending time immersed in the culture of smaller towns. She loves cooking and trying new recipes. Her father-in-law, fellow Rotarian Mike Anstein, is often a glad recipient of her cuisine. Amy is a Rotarian because she enjoys the weekly programs, the interaction with Rotarians, and giving back to the community. She finds the work of the IDEA Committee to be particularly important. Amy, thank you for your commitment to the community, for embracing the values of Rotary and its impact on the world. Great job. And now it is my pleasure to introduce past President Jody Keller, who will present to us the recently presented Rotary International's Diversity Code of Conduct.
Thank you, President Jackie. Okay, for Rotarians that have been in the club a long time, I'll just tell you, I'm not telling a joke today, so thought you'd be so happy to hear that. I'm just not in the mood. Okay, so as most of you know, fellow Rotarians, Rotary clubs around the world have joined together to emphasize that we want Rotary to be a place that celebrates diversity, that fully represents the community we live in, and that all members have equitable opportunities to thrive. Rotary International conducted a DEI survey last year where more than 31,000 members around the world reinforced these sentiments. To ensure that the principles of diversity, equity, and inclusion will allow us to continue to do meaningful work, we engage with others with unique qualities and talents to accomplish more together. What we say and how we behave matter. And of course, candid and open expression is important. We all have to take responsibility for how our actions and words may affect others. Our club has done a great deal to ensure our visitors and members new and old feel welcome. The Rotary International Board has approved a new DEI code of conduct to help us continue to create and maintain an environment that's collaborative, positive, and healthy for everybody. The DEI code of conduct asks us to simply use respectful language, be supportive, foster a welcoming and inclusive environment, and celebrate diversity, not too hard. We're a stronger Rotary Club when we embrace the diversity found in York and in our club. Our board, our program committee, our membership committee, and others consider that we're more effective when we offer a valuable experience that provides opportunities for people to serve, to lead, and to participate with us. To grow and become stronger, we know Rotary must take DEI seriously. And thanks to you, we're doing that in our club. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Jody, for sharing that with us. And now we're going to introduce JT Hand with a JROTC Service Award.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce the club to the Rotary Club of York's 2022 Rotary Club of York Community Service Award recipient from the JROTC Bearcat Battalion at William Penn High School, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Yamiris Reyes. You know a little bit about a soldier by looking at their uniform. For those of you who have been in the military, you know that. You can learn an awful lot about a soldier just by looking at their uniform. So a couple of things about Yamiris. Number one, she was struggling with whether or not she should have dessert before coming up here because she wanted to make sure she stood upright and looked trim. Mission accomplished. And it's all relative, you know. But if you look at the rack and stack on her chest here with the number of ribbons that she has been duly awarded, I'm not sure there's a single ribbon that a cadet is eligible for that she has not received while serving in the JROTC detachment at William Penn JROTC. The other thing is she was introduced as Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Reyes. And the reason she was introduced in that way is because she is the Bearcat Battalion commander. So she is the highest ranking cadet in the Bearcat Battalion. And the way JROTC works, for those of you who have never been in JROTC, the cadre has a choice when they're selecting their leadership. And when they're selecting their battalion commander, they can select someone and put them into the position and the grade of major. And if they're qualified and if they've earned it, they will be promoted to lieutenant colonel. She was promoted to lieutenant colonel. I think it's also interesting who she brought as her guest today. And she brought her command sergeant major with her. So she brought Command Sergeant Major Kayla Gonzalez to accompany her, to be with her for this presentation. That speaks volumes about the leadership support that we see within the Bearcat Battalion, the friendship that you two have, and this relationship between what is the senior non-commissioned officer in the battalion and the senior officer in the battalion. And when you have a senior non-commissioned officer who's doing the heavy lifting of the battalion, and you have a senior officer who's setting the direction for the battalion, and when those things come together in friendship and support, it is an absolute thing of beauty. And that's what you have accomplished, and that's what you have allowed. And you should be very, very proud of that and what you've accomplished there. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Rotarians, I'd like to introduce our 2022 Rotary Club of York Community Service Award recipient, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Yamiris Reyes.
Hello. I don't know how to beat that. He praised me a lot more than I expected. There are a few events that really stood out to me when I first started this program. And one of them is the DC trip that we took my freshman year. I was supposed to take it again my sophomore year, but COVID hit. I really wanted to go. We looked at the tomb of the unknown soldier, and looking at the soldiers that committed to just patrolling the tomb was really impressive because they did everything so perfectly. And I didn't know how I could own up to that as battalion commander. Another activity we did was we went around the city and planted a lot of trees. It was so early in the morning. I did not know if I was gonna get up, but it was so early. We drove around to a lot of different locations and planted like 4 trees in each location. And it was really fun to do because we all did it together. And I guess it just showed like teamwork in our own little battalion. One more activity that we did that really stood out to me the most was when we built the little library in Penn Park. That was the funnest thing ever, only because it took so long to do. We did all of it. We dug up the weeds that were surrounding the area. We put new gravel down. And then when we were finally finished, we had a little ceremony to basically congratulate everyone for the work that they had done. These are some of the few activities that I've done in JROTC that Sergeant and Major have allowed me to participate in, and I will deeply miss it.
Yamiris, you make us very, very proud. I can't think of a better recipient of this award than you. Congratulations and much continued success in all that you do. Let us congratulate Yamiris one more time, please. Good job. And now I would like to introduce Joan Mummer to introduce our program.
Good afternoon. It is my pleasure to introduce Madeline Torres Ocasio, a native of Puerto Rico. She made York her home 20 years ago. She received an associate's degree from Penn State and a bachelor's degree in general studies from Fort Hays State University. She's now pursuing her master's degree in education, TESOL, teaching English to speakers of other languages. Since 2000, Madeline has worked in the school district of the city of York, settling in at William Penn Senior High School. There, she works with English as a second language department, managing the EL, English Language Resource Center, a center where she teaches students who need one-on-one accommodations to succeed in school. And she told me they serve up to 60 students a week in this center. It's pretty impressive. Madeline believes that education changes lives by opening doors to new opportunities. It is why she leads the York County Hispanic Coalition, which provides educational opportunities to York County high school seniors of Hispanic heritage. The not-for-profit organization awards scholarships of various denominations to students interested in obtaining post-secondary education. Madeline.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity to come here and share our mission with you. As Joan mentioned, I truly believe that education can open a world for any person that has the opportunity to receive that education or any type of education. So I have been with the school district of the city of York for over 22 years now, and have been a member of the York County Hispanic Coalition for over 15 years. Before sharing our mission, I want to talk about a little bit of some statistics that I realize that we all need to know. Is very important to be aware of what's happening around us in our community. So 32% of the York City residents are living in this survival mode. That means that there's no long-term plans, there's no medium-term plans. They are just living for the moment, and everything is very crucial. It's very important to have at that moment. York City residents are people of color. It's a 64%. Of the 64%, 34% are Hispanic or Latino. So I see them. I'm so proud of you. They come to our schools, they come to our community, and we are there to serve them the best way we can, offering the services that we, either community or educational, academic. I hope they're okay. Another alarming statistic is that 31.89% poverty line here in the community. I'm accustomed to seeing it because I'm in the school district, and that is the population that we serve. But it's not all right that is happening when we have services and the community is willing to help everyone around us. So if you can, thank you. So back in 2020, the population of York City was of 43,662. Right now it's declining. And it's gonna continue because people are looking for something else. It seems like the community is not providing what they need here. So they are trying other places to better themselves. We always try to keep our students, when they are going into post-secondary education, we try to keep them here in town. You know, you serve your community, you grew up here. study here, why not stay and make something of yourself here in this community, but not, we cannot ask of everyone to do that. So the information I just shared with you, those statistics, I gather them from the yorkcity.org website, from the census also. So it's pretty much accurate. I wanted to also include that the English as a second language students, or students that are learning a second language, not only Spanish, we also have Haitian Creole, French, Asian languages, and of course, Spanish. Right now, the school district has a 26% of students are learning English as a second language. Okay. And for the high school, we have 371 students learning the English language for the first time. So our mission is to improve the quality of the Latinos here in the community, is to facilitate, I'm sorry, I keep moving away, is to facilitate collaborations, access to other services that are needed, also offer resources, any way that we can help, that we can send direct this community towards the services that they need, we do. Our members are working or part of different organizations. So we all come together when we need advice or the referrals to the community. So we're on our cell phones texting each other, hey, can you help this person with this? Immigration or health, anything that has to do with the services that community should be giving out or providing to any member, any resident of York City. The Hispanic Coalition, as I was explaining, the members, we are individuals or representative of different organizations already established in the community of York City or in York County. We were established back in 1988. In 1995, we began awarding scholarships for seniors with Hispanic heritage or of Hispanic heritage. And those are some of the universities that and colleges that they have attended. Some of them, of course, are multiple times, because Penn State is one that many of our students attend. Same with your college, since we have the opportunity of having the YCAP program. So many of our students go there. Right now, we have 47 at William Penn High School. We have 47 English as a second language students graduating and going to college. Okay. Every year, the Hispanic Coalition prepares an application for the students to complete. And they answer 2 questions. What is the importance for you to be of Hispanic heritage? They answer that question, and then there's another question that has to do with the community where they live in. Okay. Then they form an essay, they give us their demographic information, and we interview them. And we look at their academics, and we choose the students that are, how can I say, I mean, they all should have the opportunity, but not all have the enthusiasm to do what they say they were going to do. Reality. So we decide who will be the awardees of these scholarships. So every year we do this. We give out $1,000 for a 4-year college 500 for an associate's degree, and 500 for a trade school or certificate, because many of our students are not college material, and we need to realize that and provide for that also. Maria Jacome Otati, she is one of the recipients. She has graduated from college already. She is working with Community of Hope, and I think that one is at Hanapan Middle School. She's gonna tell you about how she feels.
Jose Jacome, and I'd like to share a little bit about my story with you, and not just as a member of the York County Hispanic Coalition, but also as a past recipient of one of its scholarships. A few years ago, I was the student. I was graduating high school. I was attending the Coalition Scholarship Breakfast, recognizing the recipients and anticipating what my future held. In high school, I worked really hard to excel because I wanted to pursue education. I wanted to go to college, and not just for myself, for my parents as well. My parents, who have sacrificed so much to provide our family a better life in this country, and who continuously encourage me to pursue my dreams and achieve more than they were able to. I want to make them proud. As you may be aware, a college education can be for many of us a financial hardship. I was looking for ways to cover the cost, and student loans were not an option for me. It was the scholarship awarded by the Hispanic Coalition, amongst others, that helped me get my college education. In May of 2015, I was able to obtain a bachelor's degree in anthropology from Millerville University. After college, I wanted to work somewhere where I could help others, where I could give back to my community. A little bit after, I started working for Family First Health, whose mission is to serve the community and provide accessible care to all. In the past 4 years that I've been here, I've had many opportunities to grow and to learn and step into lead roles. I am currently the medical reception supervisor in our George Street site here in New York. There, I have the privilege of leading an incredible group of women who are hardworking, compassionate, and who, through these difficult times that we are currently living in, have shown tremendous courage, resilience, and ability to take on all of the changes that are occurring. I am so grateful for them. They are an amazing team. It is through Family First Health where I have the chance to join the Hispanic Coalition, but now as a member. Alongside the coalition and its members, I have the opportunity to give back and help our Latino high school students reach their goals. Throughout the year, the coalition works very hard to raise as many funds as possible to award the scholarships to students pursuing a 2-year or a 4-year program. The number of scholarships that we are able to award are completely dependent on the amount of funds that we are able to raise. And for that, we need your help. On May 1st, we are going to be participating in Give Local York. You will have 24 hours to make a contribution to the education of a student here in our community. Your contribution will make someone's dream a reality. Believe me, I was one of them. And I would like to leave you with these words that Nelson Mandela once said: education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. I encourage you, wherever you are in life, to continue dreaming, growing, learning, ready for the opportunities that are to come. Thank you so much for your help.
Is this, yes. As you noticed, it was a Give Local York video. Now she has moved on to Community of Hope at Hanapan Middle School. She is very correct to say that we do work hard. We do try our best to fundraise as much as possible, because it does depend on how much the funds that we have, how many scholarships we are going to be awarding. This year, we were blessed with a donation of $1,000 from the company Open Door or Campus Door. I apologize, Campus Door. And that puts us with the availability of having 6 scholarships, $1,000 each, if possible. So right now we are in the process of finishing up the interviews, and we are choosing who the students, the seniors in your county that will receive this scholarship. Some of our agencies and individual members are Rosa Catterall, she's here. Thank you. Mindy Christian, Miss Carol Hill Evans' office, the ex-Whaler Funeral Homes, Creative York, the School District of the City of York, Maria Jacome Otati, Ellen Carter, and there's many more members that help our mission prove through. So our executive team is myself, Madeline Torres Ocasio, then Gabriela Hart, she's the vice chair, Mindy Christian, she's the treasurer, and Dalina Torres Cruz is our secretary. So community working together, it is the most important thing that we can think of or we can mention, because as you do your community service with the Rotary Club, we are doing our community service by helping our students have that opportunity of post-secondary education. And it is very rewarding. We are here just to let you know that we are here and we can help you the way maybe we can help each other, help the community to reach those goals, the parents' goals, the children goals, and everyone goals that we have for ourselves and for our families. So I really thank you for listening and for giving us the opportunity to present our mission to you today. Thank you. Any questions? I explained everything? Wow, I'm that good. Yes. Thank you. Mhm. Mhm. Oh, he is wanting to know if I have any, what are the factors that are combined in the statistics to have the result of the poverty line. I believe that is a big number of factors that are included for the analysis, including education for the parents, including jobs. We all know right now there's jobs everywhere, but not everyone can qualify for the different jobs that are being offered because of lack of education. Number of family members is another factor that really changes that that level of poverty. Age as well is included in this type of analysis to determine the possibilities of getting out of that poverty line. Did I answer your question? Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes.
Outside of money, what other what's the biggest resource that's preventing the education level and stuff like that?
For our Hispanic Latino families is one is language and two is money. Right now, the new immigrants to the city are students that are coming in with elementary education, but they're 18 and 17, 19 or 20. They are coming from countries that the parents did not have the opportunity of being educated themselves for different reasons, being violence or having to stop going to school because they needed to go work to help their families survive. So those are the two main reasons that I can think of that prevents our students going. They are very bright. They are intelligent children, but if they don't have the possibilities, or I think they don't think they have the possibilities to go forward, then we still not moving forward with their goals. Yes. Yeah. Oh, I know. Okay, so outside of the funding for the first year, it's pretty much what happens to them. I've had the experience that many of our seniors that have gone to college, maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, come back asking for help to complete scholarships, to find ways to pay, because it is very nice to have that first year accommodated and have all the monies and the fee and the FAFSA and all that, but then reality hits. Many of our students have had to come back home, look for other ways of completing their education. Instead of getting an associate's degree, they're getting a certificate. Instead of getting a bachelor's and associate's degree, even though they can give more, but because of the same factors, the money and the opportunities, the lack of assistance from the families, that is another block for them. Some can overcome, because if you want something bad enough, you get it. Others, they just kind of give up and just go by in that circle or that cycle, that factory work, then home, factory work, home, and then that's it. Even though they have the intelligence to just become what they really wanted to do, what they wanted to work in. Anyone else? Yeah. Okay. Again, thank you very much for giving me your time. And on your tables, there's brochures about the coalition. It has all our information. And if you're interested about talking to us or donating or volunteering with us, we greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
I just asked Madeline how well they did with the Give Local York this year, and they raised over $17,000 with their effort, which is an outstanding day for you. Congratulations. I think that's a great vehicle going forward. Wonderful presentation, Madeline. Thank you for your heart, for your passion, and all of you who attended today on behalf of this great program. And we look forward to hearing more about your success. Thank you for being here. Madeline signed the book plate for the book Two Little Trains by Margaret Wise Brown that we will be donating in her honor to McKinley Elementary School. I just want to remind you that we do have extra recyclable bags at the entrance if you need more. And remember, we're going to be collecting these on June the 1st. You can bring them to the parking lot. We're going to load up JT's truck, and I'm really excited to see this mountain of green bags of plastic recyclables that we'll be collecting for that date. Next week, we'll hear from Cher Condor. Following the death of her son, Martin Wilson Condor, in Iraq in 2004, Cher turned that pain and sorrow into an effort to help comfort grieving military families by founding the Veterans Memorial Gold Star Healing and Peace Garden, located in Memorial Park in York. This is the 10-year anniversary of the Gold Star Garden. In closing, our quote today is by race car driver Mario Andretti. If everything seems under control, you're not going fast enough. Rotarians, I hope you have a great rest of your week. This meeting is adjourned.